Welcome to Louisiana and Beyond. I'm Martin Folse.
And I'm Lonnie Thibodeaux.
Today we're diving into one of the most important projects in our region, the Houma Navigation Canal Lock Complex, a $330 million linchpin of the entire Morganza system. This lock isn't just about navigation, it's about protecting fresh water, keeping salt water out, and helping our marshes and estuaries thrive.
And we'll show you how this massive structure works, meet the engineers making it happen, and see the impact it already has on our coast.
From safety for local fishermen to keeping commerce moving, this lock is changing the game for Louisiana.
Louisiana and Beyond is brought to you in part by Edison Schwest Offshore, Bollinger Shipyards, Crosby Tugs LLC, Grand Isle Shipyard, Nichols State University, and Sea Level Construction.
In a world where you can choose to be anything, who do you choose to be? At Nichols State University, with over 70 distinct degree programs, we believe our students can be anything. Be an artist, a chef, a journalist, an educator, a lifesaver. But no matter what you choose to be a colonel. Be more at Nichols State University.
Edison Schwest Offshore is more than a fleet. We're an interconnected network of vessels, logistics hubs, and a fast-growing workforce of over 19,000 dedicated professionals across the globe. From the United States to Brazil and the Middle East to Southeast Asia, Schwest provides cutting-edge solutions to a worldwide community. And in the face of evolving demands across the industry, we are committed to operating as the best in the world.
When it comes to marine towing, Crosby Tugs has over 40 years of experience. We have the know-how to safely assist ships into and out of their berths, escort oil tankers quickly and safely, tow ships, respond to fuel spills, and work in extreme conditions. Founded in 1977 by Vinton and Kurt Crosby, we are one of the largest privately owned marine transportation businesses in the industry. If it's on the water, let Crosby be your transporter.
At GIS, putting people first has always been our thing. As we always say, our people are our most important assets. With over 20 office locations, we deliver innovative solutions across 4 key markets: energy, industrial, infrastructure, and power. Our 4 main service groups house over 20 service capabilities, supporting projects from start to finish. We're proud of our legacy and even more excited about what's ahead.
Welcome to Bollinger Shipyards. For nearly a century, our family of skilled shipbuilders has driven innovation and excellence, creating some of the world's most advanced vessels. Today, we are at the forefront of our industry and redefining the future of naval warfare. At Bollinger, we turn challenges into opportunities and careers into legacies. Here, you're part of something bigger. Any yard can build a ship. We don't just build ships. Together, we're building the future.
The linchpin of the Morganza system is the Houma Navigation Canal Lock, a $330 million project designed to protect our coast and manage fresh water.
Last year, Hurricane Francine brought a 11.5-foot surge, just shy of topping the levees. It was a close call, showing exactly why this lock is so critical.
We'll talk with the engineers and local experts about how this massive structure works, why it's a game changer for both the environment and commerce, and what it means for our parishes.
From saltwater control to safe harbor for fishermen, the lock is already shaping the future of Louisiana's coast.
We had an 11.5-foot surge last year. That was very close. We had debris on the top of the levee, a 12-foot levee, and so we're racing to get to 15. I think the Corps is racing to hold on to the money that they have, and so we're trying to get some of that money, hopefully, out of their hands, and so that we can put it on the ground and move forward. We've got a $400 million lock that is the linchpin of the entire Morganza system. That's going to be tremendous. Wait till you see what that does. We had the floodgate, the Bubba Dove floodgate there. Well, when you put this lock in place, it's going to stop the fresh water from leaving as much as it's going to stop the salt water from coming in. And that's going to be huge for this parish. It'll allow everything inside the system to turn green and come back like it used to be, or thereabouts.
So we're probably about 2 years off from completion. We're actually, and people use the term locks and floodgates interchangeably, but they're not, right? We only have one lock, and that's the Houma Navigational Canal lock. And really, it's a series of 2 floodgates back to back where you can control water, right? Most locks throughout the world control water levels, but we're here to control salinity, right? To stop salt water from coming in. So the project is about 2 years from construction being complete, but I think we're probably in the 30-35% complete range. We're currently working on the flood side sector gate. And so once that's really hot and heavy, you know, at some point we'll have a functioning flood side sector gate. So, I mean, half of the lock complex will be functional at that point. The project cost was around $320 million, $330 million right now. We started off as a federal project with a $750 million project, and through the wonderful engineers that we have here today, we were able to get that project cost down. And even our bids on that project were over $400 million. So we've shaved and made a lot of value engineering decisions, you know, in my role to try to get that price down even further. So about a $330 million project, which I would say is probably one of the largest, if not the largest project in Terrebonne Parish history.
So there's 3 different flood structures. Well, 4. One of them would be a water control structure. That's just like a gate that you open and allow water to ingress and egress into the area. The second one would be a barge gate. That is a floating barge that basically you winch it closed, sink it, and it stays closed for the remainder of the storm event. So that's a lot cheaper than the ideal sector gate, which is more of a winged gate that you can open and close, and you can operate it with the tides, you can operate it for boats, you can do all kinds of things. Like I can close a sector gate myself, cannot close a barge gate. That I'm not that talented. I have people that do that know way more about that than me. But that takes a team of people, whereas a sector gate is just, you know, handles that you can just operate like it's automated. The linchpin, the ideal situation, which is what you see mostly, is a lock complex. That is basically 2 sector gates where you open one, you can navigate into the middle of the chamber, you close the back one, you can pump the water down, open the other one, and allow boats to navigate through that. That is more ideal for navigation when you have to close the system for things like salinity, freshwater management, storms, storm events, safe harbor, those types of things. Those are very, very expensive. So that's why we don't have them everywhere. Now we do have 3 right now. One is the one being built in the HNC, the Houma Nav. That is the biggest one. That's a $320 million structure. It's huge. And then the other 2 we have, one in Boudreaux Canal and one in Bayou Terrebonne.
I think, you know, it serves so many purposes that it's uber important, right? First of all, it takes a long time to close the Bubba Dove system because of what you have to do, and you have to bring a lot of horsepower out there. But the segment gates inside of the lock serve the purpose of, for the most part, normal days, we can channelize that opening because the HNC has gotten so large. So now we're limiting the tidal prism through there. We're able to freshen the basin, I believe, as compared to having such a large opening that's needed. We need the large opening to get commerce out, but even when you've got a storm threatening, you can close that big large opening or have that big large opening closed, and you can get people in the last minute because you're talking about minutes versus hours to open and close and lock people in. But it's all connected, right? Right up the HNC, you hit the GIWW, right? And so this system, I would say, yes, that's a linchpin of it, but if there's 2 other pins that are very important are the gates in the east and the west side in the GIWW, because that kind of locks us all down. We're heavily exposed on the east side from the 106 square miles that we lost, and Little Lake and Lake Salvador, Delta Forms, and all of that area. And so when we can button up those systems and we can't leave any part of it open, we're going to have problems from those big channels. It's one thing for water to work its way up a bayou and everything else, but when you've got these big man-made channels, we have to be able to control them.
The Houma Navigation Canal Lock isn't just a massive engineering project, It's a lifeline for our coast, managing salt water, protecting wetlands, and keeping commerce moving.
And with the lessons from Hurricane Francine fresh in everyone's mind, it's clear just how critical this lock will be for our parishes.
Coming up after the break, we'll hear from Wally Nakan of Edison Schwest Offshore about how Louisiana's shipbuilding industry is thriving and what it means for our coast and community.
At GIS, putting people first has always been our thing. As we always say, our people are our most important assets. With over 20 office locations, we deliver innovative solutions across 4 key markets: energy, industrial, infrastructure, and power. Our 4 main service groups house over 20 service capabilities, supporting projects from start to finish. We're proud of our legacy and even more excited about what's ahead.
Welcome to Bollinger Shipyards. For nearly a century, our family of skilled shipbuilders has driven innovation and excellence, creating some of the world's most advanced vessels. Today, we are at the forefront of our industry and redefining the future of naval warfare. At Bollinger, we turn challenges into opportunities and careers into legacies. Here, you're part of something bigger. Any yard can build a ship. We don't just build ships. Together, we're building the future.
When it comes to marine towing, Crosby Tugs has over 40 years of experience. We have the know-how to safely assist ships into and out of their berths, escort oil tankers quickly and safely, tow ships, respond to fuel spills, and work in extreme conditions. Founded in 1977 by Vinton and Kurt Crosby, we are one of the largest privately owned marine transportation businesses in the industry. If it's on the water, let Crosby be your transporter.
Sea Level Construction is a heavy civil contractor that provides turnkey services for the industrial and marine industries. From building large-scale infrastructure to installing the foundation for expansion projects, Sea Level and its family of companies offer a wide range of capabilities including driven piles, drilled deep foundations, structural fabrication, structural concrete, marine construction, barge maintenance and repair, site work development, heavy equipment repair services, and electrical services. Call Sea Level Construction to set the foundations for your next big project.
Edison Schwest Offshore is more than a fleet. We're an interconnected network of vessels, logistics hubs, and a fast-growing workforce of over 19,000 dedicated professionals across the globe. From the United States to Brazil and the Middle East to Southeast Asia, Schwest provides cutting-edge solutions to a worldwide community. And in the face of evolving demands across the industry, we are committed to operating as the best in the world.
Up next, Wally Nakan, General Manager of Le Ship, takes us inside Edison Schwest Offshore Shipyards, where they're building everything from offshore vessels to cruise ships.
From LaRose and Houma to Gulfport, Tampa, and even overseas, these shipyards drive jobs, support communities, and push maritime innovation.
Wally shows us how Louisiana's maritime industry isn't just local. It's making waves across the nation and around the globe.
It seems early 60s that it's, Mr. Edison grabbed a hold of out of necessity that Louisiana needed, it was growing offshore on the shelf that they were, found gas, found oil, that, hey, they needed to get supplies out there, so load some stuff on the bow of a patrol boat and bring it out to them, which needed more and more, so need more and more boats. Led to a shipyard, which ended up being North American Shipbuilding, which as it grew led to be North American Fabricators, led to be La Ship, then grew along the coast, Gulf Ship out of Gulfport, Mississippi, then Tampa Ship, one of our nicer shipyards in Navegantes, Brazil, if you ever get a chance, beautiful shipyard, and then all the subsidiaries, which, we've been talking about this morning, direct, indirect. From 1993, when I, started my career, my full-time career, it's, we had great innovations then, we had plasma cutting machines back then. Until 2019, when I took over La Ship, we bought more advanced robotic welding machines here at La Ship. and we've just purchased more, smaller robots that can reach inside the double bottom units here at Lost Ships. So it's getting more advanced, and we just getting the okay to buy more robotics that we found in Korea that a single person can operate 2 to 3 robots, and so it's growing.
Watching the Swiss shipyards in action, you'll see it's more than boats. It's jobs, innovation, and pride.
Absolutely, Martin. And as Wally tells us, these yards aren't just local. They're making an impact from South Louisiana to Gulfport, Tampa, and Brazil.
I think we get to see the impact when we build a Viking cruise ship or a wind industry boat, to when our jobs climb up, to that 800 to 1,000 people in the shipyard, and you get to see, we even hire contractors that, come from out of the state, but still within the United States. We're booming around here. All the hotels are full. The contractors are coming in, but the community's full. The communities are full, the hotels are full. All the little stores are booming. And we even, we sending the vessels away. So we even helping communities like Rhode Island. We helping New York, so we buying from within the United States. And I know you see the Schwess, buy a lot locally from, Terrebonne Parish, Lafourche Parish, booms. And then I'm not sure how to say it, the verse that, it's almost like a hurricane passes when we're not building boats. The industry goes down. If we're not building boats, it's very similar to a hurricane passing, that nobody's doing good. If Schwess ain't building boats,
it lays down a little bit.
Everything lays down. Nobody's selling cars. Nobody's doing anything around here. We start building boats, everything booms again. Everybody's living high on the hog.
From offshore support to yachts, the scale of what they do here is incredible.
No doubt. And the reach isn't just Louisiana. They're sending vessels overseas too, keeping our industry global.
We think about the now. Gary thinks about the future. Because I guess, looking at 4 years ago, I wasn't thinking about building a vessel to service the wind industry. But all of a sudden, the contract was in my lap to build, 2 wind turbine boats. And within a 3-year period, we had 2 of them built, and now they're working. One's working out of Rhode Island. One's working off the coast of Brooklyn, New York. One's running off of batteries. That's amazing. I never thought I would have seen that. And now we got a cruise ship working the Mississippi River, built right here in Houma, Louisiana. It's amazing. So proud of that.
Edison Schwest offshore shipyards are proving Louisiana knows how to design and build world-class vessels.
And with valuable employees like Wally running the show, every project from Mississippi to Tampa and beyond is handled with precision.
He's 100% into the shipyards. He loves building boats. It really is a hobby. Never seen somebody work so hard.
And it don't matter what kind of boat, right?
No. Oil and gas, wind, passenger ships, icebreakers, it's all in.
Yachts.
Government support, we all in. Can't even imagine a Louisiana without Schwess, because that's a good question. Yeah, we reach out so far, to include Gulfport, because, our close relative, our Gulf ship, North American Shipbuilding, and Lost Ship, of course, with Edison Schwess Offshore and our shipyard in Fouchon. We reach out so far to support these communities. It's hard to imagine a South Louisiana without Schwess. I can't even picture that.
Edison Schwest Offshore is more than a fleet. We're an interconnected network of vessels, logistics hubs, and a fast-growing workforce of over 19,000 dedicated professionals across the globe. From the United States to Brazil and the Middle East to Southeast Asia, Schwest provides cutting-edge solutions to a worldwide community. And in the face of evolving demands across the industry, we are committed to operating as the best in the world.
When it comes to marine towing, Crosby Tugs has over 40 years of experience. We have the know-how to safely assist ships into and out of their berths, escort oil tankers quickly and safely, tow ships, respond to fuel spills, and work in extreme conditions. Founded in 1977 by Vinton and Kurt Crosby, we are one of the largest privately owned marine transportation businesses in the industry. If it's on the water, let Crosby be your transporter.
Sea Level Construction is a heavy civil contractor that provides turnkey services for the industrial and marine industries. From building large-scale infrastructure to installing the foundation for expansion projects, Sea Level and its family of companies offer a wide range of capabilities including driven piles, drilled deep foundations, structural fabrication, structural concrete, marine construction, barge maintenance and repair, site work development, heavy equipment repair services, and electrical services. Call Sea Level Construction to set the foundations for your next big project.
At GIS, putting people first has always been our thing. As we always say, our people are our most important assets. With over 20 office locations, we deliver innovative solutions across 4 key markets: energy, industrial, infrastructure, and power. Our 4 main service groups house over 20 service capabilities, supporting projects from start to finish. We're proud of our legacy and even more excited about what's ahead.
Welcome to Bollinger Shipyards. For nearly a century, our family of skilled shipbuilders has driven innovation and excellence, creating some of the world's most advanced vessels. Today, we are at the forefront of our industry and redefining the future of naval warfare. At Bollinger, we turn challenges into opportunities and careers into legacies. Here, you're part of something bigger. Any yard can build a ship. We don't just build ships. Together, we're building the future.
The Houma Navigation Canal Lock is more than just a massive structure. It's a game changer for our coast, limiting saltwater intrusion and protecting our wetlands.
That's right, Martin. And by keeping the canal mostly closed when storm surge or saltwater threatens, it lets fresh water reach the areas that need it most, helping marshes thrive and supporting local industry.
And with that control, we can also move commerce easily and safely, giving our coastline communities a real edge. Today, we're seeing the impact in action.
So we were talking about a lock complex in the Houma Navigation Canal since probably when I was in grammar school. I mean, when I first came here, I thought that was a dream. I was like, I'll never see that in my career, in my lifetime, probably not gonna happen. It's too expensive, it's dependent on so many factors. When we built the barge into the ship channel, that was the interim protection. That was like, this is our first step, this is what we can afford, we're gonna actually see the structure here, but the lock complex is never gonna happen. I mean, my children won't see a lock complex, you know? So then BP oil spill. And then we came into some funding through the Restore Act Council, which is through the state of Louisiana. They actually have Restore Act funding. And once we realized that we were eligible for that, and Restore Act funding is environmental funding. So the HNC lock complex itself is an environmental structure. Just so happens we can operate it for floods. It's nice to operate it for floods, but it's mainly for you know, saltwater management, freshwater management, and to allow the marsh to thrive and create, but it also has a double purpose where you can close it for storms and allow safe harbor for vessels. So that came about a few years ago. We started designing it, and then we started construction a year and a half ago. And I mean, it's massive. Like, you feel like an ant out there. It's so big. The cranes and most of the underwater work is done now. So now we're actually seeing above ground work, which is super cool for me, you know.
And once you build a lock system in the HNC, that you're not going to get salt water into our system anymore. You know, between that, the one I built in Chauvin, and then the one in Bayou Terrebonne, you go through lock systems. So, you know, it's going to keep our estuary very pristine within the levee system, which is the lock system.
The ability to safely navigate, have, you know, maybe storm protection for people being able to get in late is crucial to have that lock. Barge floodgate, we have to shut it, you know, way before the storm gets there, and that traffic cannot move through. So we have flexibility to get people to safe harbor with the lock complex that we wouldn't have otherwise. So that's super important. It's critical to have that lock, to shut off that saltwater flow, and then be able to manipulate some of the other water control structures we have to put fresh water in areas, you know, like Lake Boudreaux Basin and things like that, and have the ability to freshen that up over time. One thing we've seen since we started construction is we have freshened up the interior portions of Morganza system. We're starting to see vegetative growth in areas. In Pointe-au-Chien, we've had unbelievable success stories there. So, you know, once this system is complete, then we can really manage it to hopefully effectively.
Local knowledge was key to building this $330 million lock. They know the land, the water, and how to get it done.
It's more than flood protection. The HNC lock controls saltwater, pushes fresh water to the marshes, and opens new opportunities for local industry.
Since I've been working, we've always proclaimed, you know, you're so much better off. Let the locals, they know everything. They know the landowners, they know how to go negotiate with landowners. But more than that, they've lived here their whole lives. And I don't think we build the lock complex for $330 million without that local knowledge and being able to figure out where you could value engineer and maybe do some things a little differently.
When you look at a project like the Houma Navigation Canal lock, in conjunction with all the other environmental benefits that the larger Morganza through the Gulf system is providing to our region, you don't need the lock for flood protection. You've already got the Thibodeaux floodgate that gives you flood protection. The biggest benefit of the lock is the reality of being able to most beneficially use the very limited freshwater that we have. Because we can now keep the Houma Navigation Canal mostly closed when saltwater threat is highest, and allow any water that we get from the Atchafalaya River, from Bayou Lafourche flowing down through to the Intracoastal and through Terrebonne marshes. Now we can push that fresh water northward and eastward, where we have the most freshwater-starved and sediment-starved areas of our coast between eastern Terrebonne and western Lafourche parishes. So the biggest, I think, selling point for the Houma Navigation Canal lock is not only allowing commerce to continue more easily with fewer environmental detriments, but the huge environmental benefit that we now have in another tool in our arsenal, that we can beneficially distribute that limited fresh water to where it's most needed.
When that HNC gets done, it's going to also create us a lot better position industrial-wise for its business, because you won't be locked into having to open and close the gate to get traffic in and out. And that changes the whole game at that point, because we're probably losing some business just because of that.
What a journey today, seeing the people in projects shaping Louisiana and beyond.
And from incredible engineering feats to community heroes, the work we've seen will leave a lasting mark on our state.
We're grateful you joined us, and next week we'll explore even more stories that highlight the heart and spirit of Louisiana.
Make sure to tune in, you won't want to miss it.
Louisiana and Beyond has been brought to you in part by Edison Schwest Offshore, Bollinger Shipyards, Crosby Tugs LLC, Grand Isle Shipyard, Nicholls State University, and Sea Level Construction.